I'm the one doing the editing. I'll cut what I like.
I shall veto.
Okay? Like the PlayStation.
Yes. No, that's Vita, but well done.
See, today we were in... we weren't in Glasgow, but we were in Glasgow. Start again. We were in Glasgow, but then we weren't in Glasgow, and then we went back that direction to go food shopping, right?
Uh-huh.
And I don't know if this is because, like, we always go food shopping in the same place, like, every week. And it's Sainsbury's, and it's considered to be one of the sort of posher of the chains, I suppose.
Yeah, I would say so.
So we decided to go to Asda, and it was, like, out in Cumbernauld. And I could swear that because we were in Cumbernauld and not in Stirling, that the people were... How was I described it? They were rough as fuck. But
that's not racist. That's just you being elitist.
It's not just that, but they seem stupid. Like, they seem that they have, like, they didn't understand that you don't stand blocking 6 aisles all at once, eating food from your trolley. You haven't paid for it yet, but they were eating it from within the trolley, chatting around and stuff. And most people, like, when we go shopping, they follow a sort of format. They go up and down the aisles, and that's fine. And there's a method to it, and it's fine, and nobody crashes, and it's. But then this was just like chaos.
Block aisle does annoy me as well when they block the aisles.
But I wonder whether or not this is like sort of not food elitism, but sort of snobbery in etiquette. Is that what it is? I'm hoity-toity when it comes to my shopping etiquette.
I have this is going to sound really stupid, but it's about supermarkets. Which end of the supermarket do you consider the top?
What do you mean the top?
Do you consider the end for the tills the top,
no,
or the far end the top?
But they're all laid out weird and different, though, aren't they?
No, the tills are always the top. That really annoys me because my mother always.
The tills aren't the top.
My mother always calls the tills at the bottom.
If you go into the Tesco's in Stirling, the tills are on the right-hand side, so the top is the bakery at the far end.
No.
Yes, that's the top, and the bottom is the door where you come in.
You're all crazy. But yes, old people in particular need to stop and say, "Oh, I haven't seen you for years," and then we just stand in the aisle chatting to each other.
I'm sure I've said this before, but they have all week, all day to go. So why is it that they wait until people are like finished work? They wait till after 5 o'clock to go and do their shopping. Can't they get it out the way like at 6:30 in the morning when they wake up or whatever?
One of the few joys people have when they get older is irritating the young. I intend to do that kind of thing when I'm that old.
Just stand.
Am I in the way standing here?
Just stand in various aisles urinating. Oh, not again. Oh, dear.
Like Adder said, I look forward to being old so I can pretend I'm deaf. Because old people aren't deaf, they hear fine. They're just like pretending to be deaf because it's really irritating.
That's true, I suppose.
Shall I stick in my story now? Actually, it's to do with old age as well.
Oh, okay.
Oh, because you remember, I can't remember if it was the last podcast or the one before, we spoke about my great-grandmother who had the first name Minnie.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it was after doing that I remembered, I don't know if this will be amusing or not, but when she passed away at 98. And a little bit after that happened, I remember saying to my gran, "Oh, isn't it a shame she was 98? If she'd hung on 2 years longer, she would have got a letter from the Queen." It used to be a telegram, but, you know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. If people don't know, if anyone who reaches 100 years old in this country gets it isn't really from the Queen. It'd be from the Queen's secretary. But I think she really signs it. And anyway,
so I wonder whether they'll get with the times and eventually you'll just get an email.
An email from the Queen. I'm surprised at the number of old folk these days that have emails. Because I've had to start asking people for them, you see. So
you've had to start asking for emails?
Yeah, I'll explain that later. But it's like, you look about 70 years old. What do you have an email for? Oh, that's right.
That's honest.
For chatting up 10-year-olds. That's what you've got it for.
Ah.
So, right, so I said that I said, "Oh, isn't that a shame?" And my gran said, "Oh, don't worry about it, son. She hated the Queen anyway." I thought, what did the Queen do to my great-grandmother that made her hate her? And it wasn't that, she didn't care for the monarchy. It was, she hated the Queen.
Just the Queen. She liked everybody else.
Just the Queen. So there you go. I think the Queen did something wrong in my family. two generations up.
I wonder.
Welcome to Brain Go Hurty 14. I'd much rather be playing Skyrim. What about you?
That's what I was going to say.
We kind of had a little argument before pressing record who would get to do the intro, because I wasn't allowed to do a rude one. Rude as in
rude?
abrasive.
Abrasive.
Abrasive is the word.
To be fair, this might seem kind of rushed and like sort of distracted, probably because we both want to go and play Skyrim.
I do. It's very addictive.
I've only played it for like half an hour, so I've got the Joneses for even worse.
Got the shakes. You've got the shakes. Whereas I played it all last night. Oh, but we'll get on to
we'll get on to that shortly. So yeah, Brain Go Hurty gaming podcast
number 4.
Blighty number 14. Go,
go,
go.
You can go to Skyrim. I'm fine with that.
Yeah. So what we're playing, Skyrim.
But let's cover everything that we've done in between while we were filling the gap between last time and this time.
Okay.
First time, was it you?
I'll go first, yeah. So we've played Uncharted.
Okay, fine. I was trying to do it fairly, but fine. Yeah.
This isn't a democracy.
No, it's not.
The sooner that you realise that, the better.
It's a pancake.
Pancakes.
Go on, you go then.
Yep, so we've played Uncharted.
Uncharted 3.
I haven't actually finished that yet.
And you probably won't for a while now.
It's going to be difficult. The campaign's quite fun. I'm quite enjoying the way that the story works. It's got that sort of Indiana Jones, Tomb Raider, sort of what you call him, Mancroft, don't you?
I call him Mancroft because that's what he is. He's a male treasure hunter.
I like it. I like the way it feels. The thing that I don't like about it is the way that he runs. It always seems like he runs like he's running, like, and the camera's drunk. It's really disorientating for me, like watching him sort of stagger about. And
if you try and turn too tightly, like turn on a pin, he does kind of stumble a bit.
It's not even just that. It's just that the shaky camera and stuff. And I get it. It makes it all sort of seem like
dramatic
and actiony and stuff. But sometimes it's a little bit annoying. But
as you said, we're both playing it, and I enjoyed the single player a lot. I actually liked the story of the second one better, but I think that's because the setting was just more up my alley, so to speak.
Literally.
No, not literally. It's hard not to avoid camp jokes when talking about the Uncharted games because they do have such a running vibe of campness.
Yeah, I've grown to realise that.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that lets it down is the multiplayer.
Well, no, the thing that lets it down is they messed up the gun mechanics.
Well, yeah.
Multiplayer is actually pretty good.
Which actually fucks up the multiplayer.
It does, and the co-op to an extent, and the single player to an extent, because you keep running out of ammo when you shouldn't, because you've wasted so many bullets.
Just shooting into the air, wow.
But there is a patch on the way. And to branch off already on the subject of that patch, Naughty Dog kind of at the start didn't know what people were talking about when people started complaining, hang on a minute, something's not quite right here with how these guns are acting.
Right.
They did admit they changed them, but they said they made them more realistic, so there's recoil and whatnot, because the second game didn't have any recoil. Which sounds a bit weird, but if you think about it, you still had to aim, even though you bullets going.
I just think that the recoil that's on it is a bit iffy.
And even if it doesn't show recoil, sometimes bullets just seem to miss.
There's a difference between adding realism and taking away fun.
Yes,
there's a fine line, and they crossed it.
So on this subject, they actually went looking for people to prove what the problem was. So I found a thread on NeoGAF, which is a very popular gaming forum, where they said, look, can anybody who lives near our headquarters please come and show us? So 2 guys who are on this forum went down, and they got them to sit down. They had to sign NDAs, but they were allowed to talk about it a little bit. So Naughty Dog let them try a few different tweaks.
Right.
But I should state before that, the thing that triggered that happening was someone actually had to make a video proving the difference and how bad it was between Uncharted 2 and 3.
So somebody outside of the production team showed them that what they did fucked the whole thing up. So yeah, then they said, right, we'll get people in to kind of test it and show us what we think it should be like. And so hopefully these guys that have gone in there have now got it so that when it's patched, it's going to play better.
Hopefully. Oh, and also I just read, I've got the thread up in front of me, they've also said that a weird motion blur effect in the single player, which might be the thing you're on about, is also getting fixed.
No, it's not motion blur. It's just like manic camera. He just looks like he's running around like a crazed madman. It's not just the camera. It's the way that he runs as well.
He is a bit mad.
He's just very skittish. That's the word I would use. He is.
Well, he moonlights as Desmond, so you know.
Yeah. Okay.
So the reason I was bringing this up is the people who went to Naughty Dog asked the question that I think everybody's asking. They asked, how did you not notice this was a problem yourselves? And their answer was, they said they would sit employees down and give them different versions of the controls, and none of the employees could tell the difference, so they assumed it was fine.
What?
Yeah, that was what they explained.
But that says different versions of the controls that they've made for this game. It doesn't mean that they used the last set in the new game. They might have built it from the ground up for this new game.
Yeah.
Making it very similar to the one before.
Yeah, for the single player, it isn't so bad. Okay, you burn through a lot of ammo, but there's also lots of ammo sitting around.
So you don't notice it as much.
Yeah, it's in multiplayer that you really notice it, with folk moving around like humans, rather than AI who just run at you because they don't flinch, which really annoys me.
That's what I pointed out, is that like I've now started favouring the sniper rifle, because it feels like when you fire, you're hitting the target you're aiming for.
Yes, even if it does sometimes take a while for them to die. But on the whole, it's a good game. I still liked it. And I will be playing more of the multiplayer only after it's patched.
Right, okay.
We're doing the co-op in the meantime.
Yeah, we are, yeah.
And our playthrough of it is going up. In fact, I uploaded the last of our Team Deathmatch videos, so we're going to need to do some co-op as well.
Yep, so go check that out on Flick FFXI on YouTube.
Yes. The FFXI stands for awesome.
Awesome sauce. So what else have we been playing then?
Still your turn, technically.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what else I have been playing.
Well, we finished Dead Island.
Oh, we did. We did, yes. That was quite a long, slow burning game, and I quite enjoyed doing it that way.
Well, what are your? I did a review of it on Critical Gamer, so I don't need to recap. But what are your final thoughts on it after we finished up?
See, there's been a lot of like reincarnations of various IPs and stuff lately, and you've got Modern Warfare 3 that's out now, and there are all these third or fourth installments of games and stuff. And this being a new IP, I was really quite pleased, actually, because it's quite rare that something new comes out, a brand new IP, and it's good.
Well, it does lift a bit from established ones, but at the same time,
it does enough things differently for me to let it off on that.
A zombie game set on a beautiful island is a bit weird.
Well, there's not just that, but like the mechanics, the control mechanics for fighting and stuff are quite sort of different. They feel unique to the game.
Now, typically, the patch didn't come out until after we finished playing it through for our playthrough. And you've been away because you're a year older.
Yes,
now.
+1, hooray.
+1, hooray. I believe I told you to fuck off.
You did. You told me to fuck off, yeah.
That's as nice as I get. But I did actually quickly try the patch because it adds a bunch of new weapon mods, so I just wanted to collect them. It's like mods for the spiked knuckles and stuff that never had any mods before.
I did wonder whether or not there was glazed mod or anything like that for them, but obviously that answers my question. There wasn't.
There is no. And I did try, and you do take less damage, but it's only by about a third, I'd say, so the damage is still a bit overly high at high levels.
I think I'll probably notice it less. Notice the difference more on Sam B because he's upgraded. So.
And the zombies do still interrupt you, so
the
patch note said they shouldn't, but they do. And the kick now needs stamina, which isn't a good change either. I don't really like that.
I agree with that one.
It takes a tenth of your bar off. I've noticed. I worked out. So you can't sit and spam it.
But I was always surprised that it didn't in the first place. So
true. Well, if anyone is curious, the total playthrough, keeping in mind I lost some of our videos of the playthrough early on.
Did you?
Yeah, remember when I had the technical malfunctions?
Oh, yeah. Is that like the equivalent of a wardrobe malfunction where like a nipple pokes out?
Yeah. A few nipples poked out. so we lost some of the videos.
Like a dog.
So say add on like half an hour tops or an hour maybe. Plus all the side stuff we didn't bother recording. But on YouTube, 14 hours, 11 minutes, 53 seconds.
Yeah, so you can go and watch all of that on Flick's channel, as mentioned earlier. Good
like 100 or so people have, which is nice. Which was nice.
It was jolly good.
Yes. Someone didn't like that we made fun of Jen.
Yeah, I didn't quite get that comment. It was almost like they thought that we didn't get the character, and it wasn't that we didn't get the character. It's just that
we didn't like her.
We didn't like the character.
Plus, I think they were giving the company a bit too much credit about how much depth that character had.
Yeah. it just wasn't necessary.
If anything, the people you're playing as is the example of how real people would react in a crisis, insofar as they want to get away as far as possible and save themselves. They don't give a shit about anyone else, which is exactly like real life.
Which all the various groups of people were working for themselves, even from the start. The ones that you first encounter.
Except Jin, because she's a naive bitch.
Yeah. The first group of people are split into two. The first, at the beach hut and at the lighthouse and stuff. And they, before you even get into the game, had obviously separated because they had difference of opinion on how best to deal with the situation. So
yes, they did. So yeah, there's better examples than Jin, I think we're saying.
Yeah. So zombie smashing, that was lots of fun. So we finished Dead Island off, and
anything else?
I liked it.
Skyrim.
Yeah. Okay, Skyrim.
But you got through the character creation, didn't you? So what race?
That's about as far as I've gone.
Yeah.
But I think I might go back and I think I've decided that I'm going to do a video. Commentary sort of thing of it. I think I've decided I'm going to do that, and I decided this time around to try doing something different because, as we've talked before, historically I've always gone sort of stealthy, ninja-y, thiefy sort of style of play.
I thought you mostly went tanks.
No. No, I like to steal everything. Remember?
Oh,
everything.
Yes. In Morrowind, you stole everything. Yeah, I remember
everything.
now.
Yeah. So this time round, I thought, I'll give playing a mage sort of class a try just to see what changes they've made. Mm-hmm. And I'm quite pleased that it feels a lot more meaty. It feels like when rather than launching a crappy looking fireball that sort of shoots through and people just walk out of the way of. Now, the base spell that I'm launching is a flamethrower that comes out of my hands.
It is, yeah.
Dual wielding magic as well seems to be quite interesting. That you've got one in each hand at the same time, and eventually you can dual cast as well, which.
You can, to amplify the effects, and also you can, there's perks to each branch of skill now, and one of them is if you're firing a spell in both hands, you can knock targets over, which is a useful one.
It does.
I like the changes to the magic as well. Well, I'll talk about Skyrim once I get to that. Are you playing anything else then?
That's it, really. I'm still playing that Shadow Era sort of Magic the Gathering type game on my phone.
On your phone.
Because I quite like it. The only problem is I sold some of my cards to the vendor, so I don't have enough cards in my deck to build a big enough deck to play against other people. Because you have to have a minimum of 40 cards or something in your deck, and mine's has got 31 or something, which is enough to play against the computer and earn more money, but not enough to play against other people.
My pretend OCD must make me put this in. In the last podcast, we forgot to say that we went back to the Assassin's Creed Brotherhood multiplayer and played that quite a lot.
That's true. We did do a lot of that, yeah.
For the last 2 weeks, or in fact more than that now, it's been irritating me that we both didn't mention that.
Because we finally scratched that itch now, have you?
That itch has been successfully scratched, because it reminded me that I did enjoy it, even though there was issues with kill-stealing bastards and whatnot.
That I'm sure that wasn't as rife when we played through it before.
It probably wasn't, but the kind of people who stick around after that long...
It just felt like, rather than, you'd locked onto a target, people just, either watched and got, the, target of target sort
co-op
of points, co-op points, that they just charged on in there and ended up getting, a third of what you would have got if you were left to get the kill.
Yep. So, well, anyway, we got frustrated with it, but at the same time, we both got level 50 finally.
Yes, I think the good thing about that is that sort of rekindled the fun factor in it for Revelations.
Yeah, it rekindled my interest because it reminded me I did enjoy it. And
I mean, watching your first videos prompted me to, I say buy the game, to ask people to buy the game for my Christmas. That's what prompted it, because I looked and I thought that multiplayer looks badass. It looks so much fun, and it is just as manic as the videos look. It is just crazy, and it's tense when you're playing as the hunted, and it's shit. Is it this one? Is it that? It is as manic as it looks. It's fun.
Speaking of, I mean, Revelations is out it's on the 18th, so it's Saints Row, same day.
Is it same day now? I thought.
Yeah, it was supposed to be the Tuesday, but it's the Friday now.
Right. Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I put in my order for both of them this morning, actually. And weirdly got dispatch emails for them today, which is obviously wrong. Because they can't possibly have had the stock in yet.
So that's something else I've got to fork out for.
Usually the way it works is, in this country anyway, the games arrive Monday, Tuesday for a Friday release.
Yeah. So what that means then is I'm going to have to batter through with the Uncharted single player and get that out the road. Leave Skyrim back burning.
You could leave Uncharted for later.
I suppose.
As long as we do the co-op. So I have something to upload.
Right, okay, right. This is stuff we should talk about outside.
I know. But I would also say I got
in the green room.
In a private room.
In the green room.
I ordered
the free drinks and blackjack and hookers.
No.
I'm going to keep interrupting you.
I know you are. I know. That's why I'm waiting. I'll just do 10 seconds of silence. No, that's not silence.
I can't be silent.
I know. I got the Professor Genki pre-order for Saints Row, which is the one that has the octopus gun and the Professor Genki ethical reality program suit. And I can't remember the full title of it now. Genki means energetic in Japanese, by the way.
I see.
And I got the special edition of Revelations as well.
Speaking of like special editions and stuff, right? When I went into it was Game that I bought Skyrim from, and I just bought it in the store because I had I got a points card thing from people.
Oh, for your birthday. Yeah.
So I had a voucher and so on, and they were like really, really trying the hard sell on the official guide for it. And I don't know if you've seen it, but it's giant. It's absolutely massive. And apparently, it's made by Bethesda. But it's not being touted as like a cheat sheet. It's just been like places of interest and like
you'll need to keep talking for a second because there's a phone call for me.
And so on, like this like tick boxes for the various sort of missions and quests and stuff that you can do. But they were really, really trying to sell this thing to me, and it was like, oh, if you bought the game, so you can get this at half price, and I was absolutely not interested in this whatsoever. But they were like really, really trying to sell it, and I was like, what's the big deal? Why are they really needing to get this hard sell involved?
I'm back and pretending to know what you were talking about. Professional. We're saying they were marked. That's how they pitched it to you. It isn't a cheat sheet.
It's not a cheat sheet. It's just like you can track quests and stuff that you've done and things, like ticking them off, and it shows you map. And the one thing that they were trying to really sort of sell me with was the fact that it comes with this big map, and you're saying you'll only get this big map and stuff if you buy. There's not an online one or anything like that.
Wouldn't be the big map sitting behind me, would it?
Well, this is the thing. I've got the standard bloody version of the game, and it comes with a fucking map.
Yes, it does. They lied to you. Because behind me. I
had absolutely no intention of buying it, but the woman that was like she was a good 5 minutes solid trying to sell me this bloody thing. And then after I was like, look, I have no interest. And the guy that was saying, oh, have you played Oblivion or anything like that? They're quite big, quite hard games. And I was like, I've played fucking Oblivion, Morrowind. I've spent like hundreds of hours on these things. Don't try to
provide me with a cheat sheet,
belittle me,
which is exactly what a guide is.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course it is. But it is a good map, though. I like what it's printed on. I like the quality of it.
The one that comes with this thing is a proper felt thing. It's like a material rather than that. But within I'd basically told him, nah, fuck off. I'm not interested. And as we were leaving with it, I think he must have been one of the newer guys or whatever, was saying about how many, they were talking about how many copies they'd sold and so on. It was obvious that they've been hammered into them that they need to get these things sold.
Well, yeah.
He was saying how many copies of the game have you sold and how many copies of the guide? That's not good enough. You need to be, what are you telling people? You tell them how many pages are written, blah, blah, blah. And I was sitting there thinking, she's telling him exactly the sort of shit that she was just doing there, and that annoyed me. I didn't want somebody trying to go the hard sell on a cheat book for a game I hadn't even played yet.
But maybe it works on the kids and parents who don't know any better.
The guy right before me bought one. Right before.
I know their website was pitching the get the guide half price. I saw that.
I don't know if this is elitism or what, but from a very, very early sort of point of playing games and stuff, you could buy guides for things like Sonic and things like that, but I always considered it to be cheating.
It is cheating, of course it is.
Now, the only exception I will have to this is if I'm trying to do, let's say I'm doing achievements. Now, I'm playing the game, maybe I've even played the game through. Let's say picking up the cog tags or whatever on Gears of War. I'm not going to spend hundreds of hours scouring all the maps to try and find them if I can find something that just points out where they are.
It technically is still cheating when you look it up, but it matters less because you finished the game.
Yeah, but that's in terms of doing like achievements as opposed to trying to finish the game. If I was struggling with a boss, I wouldn't go and...
You said that really dramatically there. The game.
The game. Dun, 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 dun. So yeah, that really annoyed me. And I think that's the direction that the whole industry is going.
Well, not just them, everybody.
Oh, this is including the sort of thing that you get up to at work, is it?
Yes.
But the thing that interests me on that subject is that the industry is like kind of getting a bit out of control. Because it used to be that you had like music and film and gaming was like, you know, kind of the little brother, not really doing that great, but...
The bastard stepchild that no one talks about.
Apparently, like, Modern Warfare 3 has, like, grossed more than, like, the biggest blockbuster of this year.
Yeah.
Is that not crazy?
I was kind of hoping we wouldn't talk about Modern Warfare 3, to be honest.
That's all I'm going to say on the subject, because I haven't bought it. I might get it when it's on the cheap. My brother picked it up. He says that he likes it and it's brilliant and blah, 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 blah. Right now, I'm not particularly interested. Skyrim is going to be sucking up an awful lot of time, so that's all we'll say about that.
I think you haven't seen it on any news programs yet because of certain scenes in it.
No, I haven't. I don't really watch the telly.
Let us know if there's any then. I'm curious if anybody got the bait or not for it.
I think that's about all that I've been playing.
Actually, I did have a couple of things about Modern Warfare. If we did bring it up, I had a kind of note only if you bring it up that I should mention.
Do you want to mention them now?
It's only one small thing that people got copies early, as they always do. Not pirates, I mean...
Yeah, like legitimate. It was shipped out early, yeah.
Yeah, so someone sold theirs on eBay for $1,725.
How early did they get it?
I can't remember when that story broke out. It can't have been more than a few days.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. Well, even in real money, that's a lot. It's about, what, 1,200?
That's
See, this is why I didn't want to talk about it.
That's madness. That's right. Okay, yeah.
Was that everything from your end then?
Yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
So me now then.
Yeah,
Skyrim. No, let's go chronologically then since last time, because, well, you've already covered Dead Island, Uncharted. What else? I have been I still played Element 10 Catchy, although I'm not really touching it now because I've got too many other things. Too many other better things.
That's not what your subscribers are saying.
I know. So, this is going to be another year now of people asking me to do things on it, even though I've quite clearly moved on to other things.
Hey, you, do stuff.
Actually, yeah, and they don't ask, they order, which really gets my back up. But I try and ignore them because you keep on telling me I have to be nicer.
You should
nicer to the audience.
Exactly.
So, what else have I been playing? I've been playing an iOS game which is available for Android phones as well, called Legacy Mystery Mansion, which is like Bejeweled except even more boring. Like, Bejeweled is kind of like Tetris in that you can find it addictive. Kind of.
If you like that sort of thing.
If you like that kind of thing, but this one is, it was tedious. And
I actually have a Tetris game on my, like, built into my Android phone.
Is it called Tetris?
It is called Tetris, yeah. It's not a Tetris knockoff. It's like a licensed version of it.
Does it have the music?
It doesn't, no. Okay. And that's one thing that bothers me.
Neither does the 3DS version that got released.
What I do is I've muted it, and then I just sit and hum the music. So I just sit there going do 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 do. Yeah, everybody loves Tetris music.
Moving swiftly on.
Yep.
I've also been playing, I need to get the full name of this, The House of the Dead Overkill Extended Cut, which is longer, harder, and gorier, and filled with terrible, terrible innuendo. So
as a light gun shooter game that you're not playing with a light gun, how does it fare?
Shh. People aren't supposed to know that. I'm supposed to be faking it like I did. So well done for that. Well, because no one on staff has one.
I didn't know that that's what you were supposed to be doing.
Well, there you go. This is why we should discuss things beforehand, but don't. So anyway, you probably know what the House of Dead game's like, but this one is pitched as like a really, really bad, cheesy 60s movie. And it's
a B-movie?
Horrible. Yeah. But it's horrible, kind of on purpose, I guess. But they pitch it as one of those ones that you can play in 3D, and if you can't play it in modern 3D, it comes with ye old 3D glasses. The blue and red ones. It does actually work, although I tried using it and it's just... I couldn't play it compared to proper 3D.
Was it making you ill?
It was making me a bit ill. Maybe that's just an age thing, though.
But maybe when you say proper 3D, you mean like the 3DS 3D, not the cinema proper 3D.
Oh, no, I mean like having a 3D TV.
Yeah, because you've actually yet to experience that, as we've already discussed.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
I know. So among all the other terrible things in it, I wanted to quote something that's from the manual. Now let me quickly find... This is the setup of what the plot is about. So it's to the agent you play as from the director of his... Well, I guess it's like the FBI, but they hunt mutants.
Right.
So it ends with the paragraph, "You'll be scared, agent, but don't worry, we've all been there. You'll want your mummy before tonight is through. That's fine. Some of us wanted our mummies very much indeed. But I have faith in you. I know you can solve this case. Good luck."
I have nothing to say to that. Nothing.
So that's the kind of game it is. It has a character in it, in fact, who has that kind of relationship with her mother.
Lovely.
Yeah, not so much. I like the awkward silence after that horribleness. Actually, the one good thing it has is it has a mode called Shoot the Shit, where you get subtitles on cutscenes, and if you shoot the swear words before they're said, it bleeps them, which I thought was quite funny.
Interesting, but probably not very long-lasting fun.
Oh, crass. Pure crass. And I think that's it, other than... Oh, I'm actually also reading something.
That's not a game. That's not a game.
It is a game. It's an
game.
Elder Scrolls book. I'm getting the name of it. It is the second Elder Scrolls novel, and it's called Lord of Souls. And it's set 40 years after the Oblivion game.
So
in the same place.
160 years before Skyrim.
Is it that long this past in
200
Skyrim?
years between Skyrim and Oblivion, apparently.
I'm not actually sure about that.
Yes.
So yeah, the plot of it is 40 years after, all that stuff with Oblivion. There's a floating island going over Tamriel, and anywhere underneath it, undead spawn.
Oh, lovely.
So there you go.
That sounds very familiar.
Maybe it gets mentioned in the game, who knows?
Maybe.
Oh, yeah, and the floating island is called Umbra. No, I'm sorry, Umbriel, which is connected to the sword called Umbra. But I'm not very far in yet, so I don't really know much more. I've only read the first few chapters in the prologue.
So you're playing Skyrim and reading about the related...
Yeah, so I'm neck deep in Elder Scroll lore.
Beardy.
Beardy.
Couldn't get more beardy unless you had David Bellamy's beard in your face.
I don't know who that is. Who is he?
He was that birdwatcher guy, I think.
Oh, I remember him now, yeah.
Who took the full lift.
Yes, that's the guy, yes. So yeah, I've been playing a lot of Skyrim. Obviously, I don't want to really spoil anything, but found the Dark Brotherhood, which I'm pleased with.
Are you finding it like the best incarnation yet, or...?
I like the improved visuals. No, I'm playing on PC, so it has improved visuals.
What settings did it recommend for you? Did it put it on high, or does it go like maximum or highest, or what?
It just said high. I haven't actually looked into them if there's better.
Yeah, because mine says high as well, you see, so I'm just interested to see whether or not you were any higher than I'm at.
I didn't check. But I like the new atmosphere. I like the atmosphere of some of the dungeons is very, very good. Just all the lighting and the ambience.
I'm tempted to put up like my first sort of testing of playing it up on YouTube.
Have you already recorded something?
Yeah, I recorded some stuff just to see how my computer would cope, and it basically just blasts through it perfectly fine.
Even with Fraps running?
With Fraps running, because I've got Fraps set for 30 FPS cap anyway.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it just sits at a constant 30. It doesn't drop below it when I'm recording. And I did wander into like a little sort of dungeony thing, and you're right, the atmosphere of the dungeons definitely feels... They don't feel like pre-constructed like the ones did before. They feel more natural. Does that make sense?
Yes. And you explore some very weird places.
And I literally, like, all I did for the first half hour of testing it out, I got through the pre-scripted stuff at the beginning, and then I just ended up wandering off and killing a few people and just having a blast. And let's get through this so I can go back and play some more.
Yes, let's hurry. Okay. I only have one complaint and one kind of niggle. The complaint is that the menus are clearly built for the console, so they do not work.
It's very weird. I'm struggling to get over the whole, like, E used to be, like, the default key for, like, well, you used to, like, pick things up with that and stuff, didn't you, on the PC?
As in to lift them up and fling them around, not as in put them in your inventory.
I can't remember what you used to pick things up. It wasn't the way that it is now. This whole, like, tab R, F nonsense, it's all a bit weird.
Once you get used to it, it isn't so bad, but having to go through layer and layer after layers...
And looking at items, the way that, like, things go into your backpack and checking things out and stuff is all different, and it's a bit confusing at first.
Yeah, like the way to get to things quickly is to favourite them, but now I've got such a long favourite list, it's just as annoying.
Just as bad.
Because it's spells, weapons, items, and everything. And the little niggle is that while I'm finding it easy to fight normal enemies, anytime I come across, like, quite a buffed up one, you can't fight them in close quarters because they'll basically kill you in 2 hits.
Oh.
I'm wearing light armour, but I'm still surprised it's only that little. Because with your health low, the enemy has a chance to do one of those kill animations on you that they've added. Essentially, you can't let yourself be low health in melee combat.
Well, that's fine. I haven't really been doing much melee combat.
Well, neither have I. I've been focusing on archery.
That's what I was tempted to do with my second iteration of the game, but okay.
I'm curious what the max level is, actually. How many points you'll eventually get to spend on perks and things.
Answers on a postcard.
Well, I doubt anyone will have done it yet. Apparently you can finish the main story of it in 2 hours if you really tried, but when I heard that I thought, well, who cares? It's all about all the other stuff you can do.
Exactly, it's all about just getting completely lost in the wilderness and exploring.
I've got so many markers on my maps to explore for all the quests that I've got triggered right now. It's annoying.
Oh dear.
I have to go do them all. All of them must be done.
So, Stuff Magazine has awards for Game of the Year and all sorts of tech and gadgets and stuff like that. And I think that the reason why I bring this up initially is because my phone beat the iPhone for the first time since the iPhone came out. It is now hailed as the best smartphone. Just thought I'd point that out.
In a magazine called Stuff. Wow,
yep.
That's an opinion to respect.
Well, you're going to love the next bit because do you know what they put Game of the Year down as?
Modern Warfare 3?
No, it's a bigger bugbear for you.
Really?
L.A. Noire.
Ugh. Obviously you can't respect their opinion then.
I didn't quite get that. I didn't quite understand why that was what they...
Actually, ignoring that they picked L.A. Noire for now, it's not the end of the year.
Well, this is the thing. A lot of these things happen. You get music do the same thing. They do album of the year and stuff like that. And sometimes it's even games that haven't even come out yet. Some of the stuff that gets involved in a lot of these lists is Skyrim and stuff was involved in some Game of the Year nomination or whatever before it was even released.
That just shows how stupid those awards are.
It's all a bit weird and mental.
It's pointless. I mean, November sees most of the... Well, November and December usually, but it's November this year. Sees all the big games.
Exactly. But it's just, I don't quite... Maybe that goes into the next year. Maybe they go...
So I like that you thought, oh, look, here's somewhere that proves my phone is better. And then you discredit yourself totally by adding on that second bit.
Proof that my phone is better is in the pudding, is actually testing it out.
Yeah. Okay. So that's all you wanted to bring up about Stuff Magazine?
Yeah.
How can a magazine be called Stuff?
There's a magazine called Witch.
Yeah, but that's a woman's one.
No.
Isn't it?
No, Witch Witch do everything. There used to be a game, not a gaming one, a a computing one for which, like, telling you which bits and pieces are the best and best buys and bargains and stuff like that. But they also do things like cars and they do insurance and holidays.
Oh, right, that's what you mean. Yeah, okay, yes. I didn't even realise they did that. It's because I stopped buying magazines years ago.
As did I.
No, you buy them if you're on a plane, etc.
Yeah.
I remember you saying that last time.
Every once in a while. I don't spend all of my days on a plane.
What was that little shh at the end there?
It was a...
Oh, I thought you were trying to silence a cat or something.
No.
Shh.
A better way of doing that.
Slipper, shotgun. Slipper, shotgun.
Slipper, shotgun.
Footwear and a gun.
So speaking of like weird
you've already branched the conversation. Let me.
All right, okay.
Something we haven't been playing is Dark Souls.
No.
Why haven't we been playing Dark Souls?
'Cause it's poo.
Yeah, we should explain that. That's now your way of explaining everything that isn't.
Yeah,
awesome.
If it's good, it's A, and if it's crap, it's poo.
Okay.
That's it.
And
if it's somewhere in the middle, it's a poo.
Oh yes, that's how it went. Yeah. What age are you now?
Crazy.
Okay, so yes, you're 28. So stop saying poo.
2 days.
In 2 days, did you say?
No, and 2 days.
Oh, and 2 days. But
I'm a big boy now.
Kind of.
Maybe.
Neither. Can I finish the sentence now?
You can try.
I can try. You could beat my head in until I thought I finished my sentence.
Yeah, that's a better idea. I think the reason that this is becoming more entertaining is that somebody has spiked my McDonald's cola with whiskey.
Ah.
So
you're trying to say to make this enjoyable, the person listening has to be drunk?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, I'd rather be playing Skyrim as well. I don't blame you for turning off at this point.
If nobody's listening, it's because that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're secretly playing Skyrim. Do
both.
Both.
No, don't do both. No, don't do both.
It would totally ruin the immersion.
It would. It would be like having a commentary on a video of playing it, hint, hint.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
It would be all... I'm trying to think of ye old English that doesn't revolve around Sir Blighty, but...
But they don't speak ye old English in that. They speak American. Actually, every time one of them speaks in that Nordish accent, I can't help thinking of Vlad from Magica. Which is basically just a bad vampire impression.
Like the Count.
He wasn't a bad vampire impression. He was a good vampire. Exactly. So going back to what I was talking about, that seems like ages ago now, the Japanese version of Dark Souls got the patch that fixes everything.
We still haven't got that yet, have we?
No, and there's no date about when we are getting it.
And by fix everything, has it fixed everything?
Apparently, well, at first it made all summoning signs invisible. But after that, like a Japanese player posted a video of themselves just surrounded by summoning signs. So apparently they have sorted it.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, and apparently it is a bit better balanced now.
Hopefully it arrives then.
Yeah, the fact that there's not even a date is a bit...
Why is it that they haven't released it over here?
Is
there a reason? Have they explained themselves?
From Software don't like Westerners. Who knows?
Tell them to fuck off.
Yeah, why not? So I think that was the only little bit, since it might seem odd that we weren't still playing it, because we did say, was it in the Halloween one we spoke about it, or the one before?
I can't remember.
I think it was the one before. It's been that long since we've touched it.
It has been. It's just gathering dust.
It is, but I will get through everything in it first.
So since we finished Dead Island, it's probably appropriate to talk about there's going to be a sequel.
Oh yeah, you told me this the other day. I never saw.
Well, it's not like officially announced, if you know what I mean. It's one of those they've bought up the rights to like the websites and stuff.
The .coms,
for Dead World. Which,
now, hang on, didn't the same thing happen after Borderlands? But Borderlands 2 isn't called Border World.
It was going to be called that, yeah, but they've changed their mind to Borderlands 2 for some reason.
Well, probably because of that thing where if you keep on putting greater mass on the end of a title, eventually you run out of places to go. Like if they do Borderlands, then Border Worlds, then what? Border Universe, and then after that they're stuck.
I suppose.
It's like, yeah.
It's like sort of like setting themselves up in future for having more sequels, basically.
Yeah, it's much easier to just tack on a number. Generally speaking, when a game sells a few million, you can be pretty much sure there's going to be another one. Especially if it's the first of a new IP.
That's true. We've also got Grand Theft Auto 5 that was like announced after the last podcast properly, wasn't it? Well, we were waiting on the video.
Trailer.
Yeah, the trailer.
Oh yeah, we were waiting on the trailer. That's what it was. It hadn't quite aired.
Because we were having... Yeah, I did. And we were having... We had...
a bet
at the end.
And I was kind of close with it being back in a kind of a more exotic place in America.
Well, it's it's looking kind of like it's the San Andreas sort of direction again, really.
Yeah, because it's in Los Angeles and California that it's set, apparently.
So, yeah.
People think the two people shown in the trailer is the person you played as in Vice City, Tommy Versailles, was that his name?
It was Tommy something, yeah.
Tommy something, and the one you played as in San Andreas, who I can't remember his name. I think it was CJ.
Yes, it was.
So they think it's older versions of them, and that's who was appearing in the trailer. Still looking forward to Saints Row 3 more.
Yeah, I prefer the story from the Grand Theft Auto games, but the gameplay in Saints Row is just top notch.
Yes, unfortunately, it's going to be encroaching with Skyrim, and so is Assassin's Creed. It's going to be very painful and weak.
Now, I know that you quite like Charlie Brooker, don't you?
Kinda.
Well, he has a thing against Saints Row.
What kind of thing?
Well, he just thinks it's crap, basically. He thinks it's a crap knockoff of... well, why is everybody banging on about Saints Row? It looks garish and horrible, like playing an early MySpace page. Or is that the point?
Yes.
Saints Row 3 equals GTA, the party superstore years.
Well, chances are he probably hasn't played the second one, so he isn't aware of how good it was.
Maybe that's...
And it did start off as a GTA knockoff. He's right about that. The first one, if you never actually played the first one, did you?
No, I didn't, no.
It was just a Grand Theft Auto rip-off. But then they went in a different direction, kind of.
Just to batter the point home, he's just finished playing Modern Warfare 3.
Yeah. he kind of went on a spamming spree on Twitter about David Cameron being a lizard.
A lizard. And he did one before about people driving as well.
Well, though that was deliberate trolling just to see if he could annoy people. But the lizard thing was just because the Telegraph complained about something he wrote. And that kind of, I don't want to listen to you ranting, so I stopped following at that point.
I might do the same, actually.
Yes. I didn't actually enjoy his most recent book either when I read it. It wasn't as good as the other ones.
We'll just have to see whether or not the next series of the new swipes or whatever that he starts doing...
yeah, those are generally good because they have a lot of research into them and contributing people who are also good, like Doug Stanhope.
So, what's next?
Would you like me to pick something?
Why not?
Have you heard that on Xbox, a Mass Effect 3 build appeared?
I heard something about...
people were calling it beta, even though it isn't technically a beta.
I heard that basically people were advertising it as the game having been leaked, but I take it's not the full...
Yeah. No. It's just bits of the game. But people still managed to grab it and play it.
How did they get these things off of the Xbox? I don't understand.
Pirates, magic.
Urge lad.
Magic pirates.
Magic pirates.
Yeah,
those are the most dangerous kind of pirates.
Yes. So people were raiding these files of the small bit of gameplay they got to play, and they actually found what they claim is the full plot summarized.
Right.
And who is it that makes it again? I mean, EA publishes it, but is it BioWare?
It is, yeah.
Yes, it is. See, I'm so disinterested. They kind of went on record saying, don't worry about it, it's not the full story, it's just...
There should just be some chanting through the background of this entire podcast going, Skyrim, 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 Skyrim.
Probably. But the point is, so they were kind of making it out like, it's no big deal, it's not the full story, it's not the finished thing, it's an early draft. but at the same time, the forum where people started posting it, in fact, I think it was that Neil Gaff place, they took out a cease and desist order and made them remove all mention of it. So that got me interested to the point I actually decided I'm going to go find what was in those notes.
Right.
Because, like, you know, I hate spoilers.
Yes.
But I've actually been put off playing Mass Effect 3 because people also discovered in that build that it has Origin, even on consoles.
How does that work?
I don't know, and I don't want to know. So I decided I'd take a look at the notes, and actually it did seem to me like it probably is going to be that plot. But I won't say what it was in it, obviously.
Yeah,
but if anyone is interested, you can still find it.
So does that mean that you're probably going to give that one a miss?
It probably is, yes, because I will not be touching Origin. Oh, that reminds me.
Talk about it like it's like some hooker with scurvy or something.
They should have called it Vapor. That's what they should have done. Because it is just a Steam knockoff. And I hate Steam.
But
why does Skyrim have Steam? I mean, you can argue that Steam is good for multiplayer games, but when a single-player only game is Steam integrated,
it's
then it has to have it.
of trying to reduce piracy by having to activate your product code through Steam.
But it doesn't, because
I know it doesn't, but nothing does. Nothing.
It just pisses off people like me who gets it a day early but can't play it until
nothing
midnight.
reduces it. Nothing reduces it.
No, nothing.
Well, not fully, but yeah.
I'm glad Notch beat Bethesda. There you go. Oh, did you notice actually that some Steam user accounts have been compromised? There was a note up instead of an advertisement from Gabe.
They put up something saying along the lines of...
Yeah, it was a letter from Gabe saying their forum got hacked, and through that, customer details may have been got, including payment information.
Not good.
You turned into an onion knight there.
Still not open.
Still compromised. And it said, actually, the next time you log into Steam, you'll be forced to change your password because that's their way of protecting it. Although I've logged in this morning, and it never asked me to do that.
Huh.
And it still didn't when I got in from work either. So I take it never came up for you either?
No, I haven't had anything up now.
Unless it only meant the forums, but surely it would also mean your account.
It must do, but I haven't had anything come up yet, no.
Well, there you go, just keep an eye on it. Like they advise people, watch out, keep an eye on your bank just in case anything starts going missing.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good.
Because it's easy for them to notice if they're getting money stolen, because an L is missing out of all. Thank you for that pity laugh.
Speaking of losing money, my Turtle Beach headset got all duffed up recently, and I don't know how.
There's this conspiracy corner.
It just, yeah, exactly. Some wizard pirate climbed through the window and put some sort of virus on my headset, so now it plays everything too quiet for me to be able to use it.
That's all you wanted to do, isn't it? You just wanted to bring up that they were broken.
Well, it leads into another point that the warranty is a bit of a pain in the ass to deal with, because I'm going to have to stick these things into like a box and then pay for it to go to their depot for them to repair or replace them. But it got me talking about voice chat with you quite a lot. And
oh no, it got you chatting a lot and me kind of listening, going aha.
Yeah, and then we were wondering whether or not voice chat in games should be off. This is when we were playing Uncharted.
Oh yeah, because I knew everyone
turning it off by default. And I don't think it's as bad as it used to be. I'm sure when, like, during the early days of Xbox, when everybody had their headsets on, and it was a lot more, like, definitely in the early days of, like, the first Gears of War, playing that online, you used to have an awful lot of trash talk.
No, you still do.
Do you?
Yeah.
Is it just because we use Skype to do everything now that I don't notice it? Is that why?
Well, plus you've not been playing Modern Warfare or Halo or anything like that.
True, I suppose so. Except we noticed it when we were playing Uncharted.
Yeah, definitely. And it was young folk, it wasn't.
It's always young folk.
Yeah. I went into one game by myself, this was before you actually got it, and in an open chat, because this is how the PS3 works, obviously, people were, two friends, obviously, were having a conversation in the lobby. Like, they didn't care that everybody else could hear them.
But people do that, yeah, I've heard
I know,
that.
but that's annoying. That's why it should be private or optional. I'm very surprised you haven't moaned about your back being sore.
It's because I'm sitting with a heat blanket, so it's not actually all that sore until I move.
You know what did that to you? Old age.
Old age, yeah. Mm-hmm. It's fine, I've got whiskey, it's helping.
Okay. You're just going to be staggering around Skyrim drunk.
Ah! Who's mother? Ah! Ducks.
Ducks?
Ducks.
Ducks?
Ducks.
Oh, that reminds me, I saw an undead chicken in Skyrim.
You made that up.
No, I did not. I seriously saw an undead chicken.
Undead chicken?
Yeah, I ran into, just in the wild, a necromancer, and he obviously had skeletons setting them on me, but then afterwards, running around was an undead chicken.
What the weirdest creature, like the weirdest undead creature, like an undead worm? I wonder what that would look like.
It would be a worm, but it would have undeadness. Silence again. I did see an undead chicken, damn it. I knew I should have taken a screenshot. People think that we're both going around playing it drunk.
You need to go and hunt this undead chicken down and take a picture.
I think I killed it. If you can indeed ever kill an undead chicken. Just come by later and I'll be back up again.
Was it finger licking good?
I didn't eat... Oh, I was going to say I didn't eat it, but I actually think I did steal its breast. Chicken breast.
Tasty.
Mm-hmm. I totally forgot what got us onto the topic of undead chickens now. Your sore back, playing Skyrim drunk, undead chickens.
Yeah.
It's a logical path.
You can see it on a flowchart.
Yeah. What got us talking about your back? I can't even remember.
Randomly talking about it.
It was starting randomly. I remember something that... Now, this should still be on your list because it was you that told me about it.
Uh-huh.
Type of gamer? Does that ring any bells?
It's not on my list, but I told you to put it on yours because I was too lazy.
That was it. Damn, I shouldn't have bothered now. If I'd known it was because of laziness, I wouldn't have. So this is some random writer in a comment on Kotaku detailed 27 different types of gamer.
Yes.
And they decided to post it as a story because, they'll post any old shit on that site, basically.
That's true.
And you said you picked out me, and you wanted to see if I could pick out you.
Well, rather than going through the full list of 27, podcast with it, I went through and I was trying to figure out where you would be classified in here. So I had a look, and there were some that kind of felt close, but there's one that seems to have been... Let me just double check that I'm getting that right.
Do you have the link right there?
Yeah, I do. I put you down as being the hater.
The hater?
Yeah.
Actually, I thought, that's...
This gamer grows up resentful and would rather not leave his or her gaming dungeon and be forced to interact with other people. This gamer sees the world as one giant joke, is well aware of its hypocrisy and well informed about examples. He or she is thrilled when around people that feel the same, or at least share their very specific likes, genres, series. While not necessarily close-minded, when it comes to games, they feel most at home with a specific brand and system. Tough to penetrate the defences, but haters can be some of the most loyal friends.
I don't live in a gaming dungeon. I live in a gaming cave.
I think that's probably the sentence that put me on that one.
That is irritatingly close, I suppose. I read through all 27, and I must admit, I don't think any one of them fits you.
See, I read them all as well, and I couldn't find me either.
I can't remember what one I kind of thought was kind of like you.
So I gave you something to prepare, and you still managed to fail.
I did read them all. I just said that I couldn't remember now. I think it was the collector, may have been. Even though, if you kind of ignore the true nerd stuff, then it's more like you just play what you like, and you like finishing achievements, kind of.
This is the thing. I don't follow entirely into.
I think that's the right one. There's one that said, "Oh no, sorry, it was the Rebounder, the one that kind of stuck with it, went from a young age." And comes back to it to and from, has a love-hate relationship with some remakes and ports, etc. Because you do sometimes talk about ports of games and either like them or hate them.
Yeah, but this talks about somebody that left the hobby altogether after the Atari or NES, and that's not true because I've been there through every generation of it.
Well, as I say, could you pick out two of them and merge them together, just splat them together into one wall of text, and then that's you.
Wall of text.
Drizzle a bit of whiskey on top.
I think that's probably about right.
Actually, if you do get very drunk, then that might make sticking a commentary on your videos of Skyrim worthwhile.
Do you know, that's a genius idea. I might just do that.
Just
get absolutely blind drunk, then do a commentary for Skyrim.
The fucking dragon.
I'll have to run that one past Vicky. I might get approval. It might be. She might have to press the record button for me, though. I'm so going to have to do that now.
I did think that was quite a good idea.
My liver might not appreciate it if I do like a full playthrough of like 100 hours of being gassed.
Just a little bit happy.
Just a little bit merry.
Merry. Yeah, it's that time of year, it's overly merry. Why not?
So, speaking of that time of year...
don't know.
I'm not jumping onto the Christmas thing because we've just passed. If you're in the UK, you'll understand like bonfire night. But if you're not,
Guy Fawkes night,
bonfire night, fireworks night, they all call it the same sort of thing. 5th of November. It's all supposed to be because some guy and some plot, Guy Fawkes, decided that they were going to try and blow up the Houses of Parliament, and it was all about trying to invoke sort of civil war almost, and they were stopped, and it never happened.
Yes.
But what I can't quite fathom is that we celebrate the event where the Houses of Parliament weren't blown up with explosives.
By
blowing up explosives.
I don't know. Tradition.
So it baffles me. It's like, what? Why? And it's the same with like this is going off on quite a tangent, but like,
yeah, it is a bit.
Look at like symbols of religions and stuff, right? If you were Jesus and you came back from the dead, the last thing you'd want to see is like all these like depictions of you on a cross around people's necks.
That is actually a common example to use for arguments against
just like
that kind of thing.
I've heard somebody use this one before, and the one that they used to nail the point was that if you were JFK and you came back and you saw these people going around with guns hanging around their necks.
Yeah.
It's a bit,
Onion night again.
Game
still distasteful.
Not patched yet. Sad face.
Yeah. Oh, you're going to, on the blog, you're going to need to post that picture of the Japanese person dressed up as Sunbro in real life. That's such a good costume.
It looks almost like they've just sort of photoshopped in something from the game, but you can actually tell that it is a costume. It's brilliant.
Yeah. I wonder if it was homemade or if he bought it. No, it must be homemade. It must be.
It must be.
Must be. I want to move on to something that's quite annoying. Because that's kind of my thing.
Everything annoys you.
I think this may also annoy you. It's about that Rocksmith game, the one that had the real...
now I was talking about this with somebody like outside of the podcast and so on.
Outside of me.
Outside of you.
Ugh.
Yes. So carry on.
Well, were you speaking about the comment made by Ubisoft's executive director, Laurent Detoc?
No problem.
Who was at E3 and looks very silly. That's a side thing. So you didn't. Well, he wasn't happy about the reviews that the game got. So he was quoted as saying, as much as they, meaning the reviewers, claim they want innovation, they don't. And that is a ridiculously close-minded statement and extremely defensive.
Now, I didn't actually realize it was out yet. And
it may not be, but these are reviews.
The problem that I have with the way that this has all gone down is that I fall into the camp of people that would probably actually enjoy it. Because the one big beef that everybody is having, and they're saying that this game should have come out years ago if it was to be innovative. Mm-hmm. And what? Because what we've had Rock Band and all the Guitar Hero games and so on, this is different. This isn't actually a game, it's a teaching tool.
Yeah, you're really playing as opposed to button pressing. And
the problem people are having is, you need a guitar to play it. Yeah, probably because you've already got one. You're not going to go out and buy one and go, shit, I need to buy a guitar with it. It's not for that sort of person. It's for somebody that already has a guitar and perhaps wants to maybe rekindle their interest in playing the instrument and get a little help along the way.
Yeah, but the problem with his quote is, well, and what you said there, it isn't innovative to create a learning tool for learning the guitar because there's plenty of ways to learn it. if you are still essentially just learning notes, it's no different to doing that yourself without the need of a game.
Well, I suppose it works in the sense of a tutor. Now, I self-taught myself guitar for a while, and kind of sort of, because there wasn't any, not motivation, but I wasn't having any sort of strict rules or anything like that put in place. I wasn't forcing myself to do difficult things that I sort of, roadblocked after a while. And because I now pay somebody who gives me a bollocking if I haven't quite mastered something in 2 weeks, there's more motivation there to try and get something nailed and get it right. And when I do that, it then means...
Does he really give you bollockings?
He doesn't give me a bollocking as such, but like it runs home that if you turn up to the next lesson, you can't do it. It's almost like you're wasting money being shown the same thing again because you haven't put the effort in.
So what? He still gets paid?
Yeah, exactly. But that's not... That's why
you know what he's doing?
That's why he's a good teacher. Because otherwise, if he was still getting paid, he wouldn't care.
You know what he's doing? He's faking passion.
Faking passion.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose.
Like I fake empathy.
That's because you're a psychopath.
Yes, it is.
But I was tempted to actually go out and get this thing, but then having looked at it, it's very similar to the guitar port software that I use for my...
Your Line 6 thing.
My Line 6 tone port product, so it's not really necessary for me. But had I not already had this, it would have been quite a nice step up from...
How does it compare price-wise, then? How much is it standard game price?
Rocksmith. I didn't even know it was out, so I hadn't actually checked. But what I'll do right now, I will really quickly check, just to try and...
Well, I will just put in a brief bit of news, because I can't remember if we did this in the Halloween one, just that Raccoon Sai has a release date of March 20th.
Oh, so right, so it does sort of just fit into the
it's in this financial year.
Yeah. Just to point out, it was about £55 to £60 for Rocksmith.
That seems pretty pricey for just the bit of kit without a guitar.
But my tone port was like 80, 90 quid.
Yeah, but I mean, aren't all you buying there is basically a bit of software and a disc?
No, it's... Oh, this game is...
Yeah, the game I mean.
Yeah, and a cable.
And a cable that might cost $5, okay.
Yeah, well, you bought one. You've got one of the cables that this uses, basically.
Do I? Oh, one of
those your USB cable thing.
Oh, yeah, guitar port to USB, yes, yeah.
I would probably say that if this does a similar thing, you'd be as well getting the guitar port thing that I use, because you've got a lot more options there. It's got all those like pre-programmed in and downloadable tones. It's got like you can pay guitar port and you can get lessons and so on through it and tracks. And you
spending too much money on games. That order for Revelations and Saints Row was 89 quid.
Oh fuck! Don't tell me that. I've not done that yet.
Sorry, it was 89.99. But as I said, that's because the special edition of Assassin's Creed is more expensive.
Oh, right.
The Saints Row one isn't. It's the special edition of that is the same price as the standard edition,
which makes no sense.
I like when that happens. That happened with Alan Wake as well. On the subject of Alan Wake, you see what I did there? I'm surprised this wasn't on your list, or was it? Have I hacked your list?
It wasn't, but it should have been.
It should have been. What's wrong with you?
Skyrim.
Oh, Skyrim while drunk, etc. Yes.
Yeah.
So there is going to be a new Alan Wake game. It's called Night Springs, and disappointingly, I must admit, it's an Xbox Live only game. So it's a downloadable title only.
So does that mean that it's going to be of poor quality, of shorter length? Or?
I would say length and production values.
I imagine what they're doing is they're probably going, right, well, we know that like a certain degree of people did like the game, but it would probably cost us too much money to try and like put out a whole new second one.
Yeah, it didn't actually sell that well, even though
exactly.
It was one of those games that isn't for everybody.
I think what they're trying to do there then is to reduce the production costs, but still try to maybe like get enough people involved that if there's going to be another one, you know, they can warrant doing another one, basically.
I hope it comes across as something other than just another tacked on little scenario.
I'm thinking like Case Zero and stuff like that. That's how I have it in my head.
The DLC for Alan Wake did kind of sum up the story well, leaving off for a proper sequel. So I don't want to have just another little chunk of plot after how it left off.
Like just more DLC, basically.
Yeah, that kind of smells of it. But we'll see, because it's only one screenshot's been shown of it so far, so there's no way to tell.
So we have no idea. We're just making it up as we go along.
Yes. I have. Oh no, actually, we've already spoken about how long it took us to finish Dead Island. I only have 2 things left, and one of them I've simply written dildo balloon. Now,
What could he possibly mean?
This is one of those disturbing moments where gaming mixes with real life, and it really shouldn't. We had someone outside where I work who was making balloon animals and collecting money for charity, and a little girl came in with, I guess, what maybe had once been a dog or something. And now she was swinging it around saying, it's a sword, and it was dark purple, and it looked so much like the dildo katana that's in Saints Row 3. I couldn't stop laughing. And at the same time...
wasn't the same...
this is wrong.
It's not the same little girl that you talked about before.
No! Stop making me sound so dodgy. Let's just brush over the dildo balloon conversation then, shall we?
You've got a sick mind.
I have a question. Did we have any mail?
We did.
We did. I know we did because you forwarded it to me, and that was a lead-on question.
Aha, we did. Yes.
Yeah. From a brand new person called Muffin Noodles Mick.
Yes.
Someone hurry up and send something else in because I've ran out of ways to rearrange his name.
We'll just get him to make a new name.
Oh, wait, no. NCM. That'll do. Okay, carry on.
Noodles has written in pointing out about the announcement that Warcraft has lost about 2 million subscribers. I remember seeing this news piece on Kotaku, actually, but did
it actually say how many it still has? Because
it went from, I'm not quite sure what the exact figures were, it went from something like 11.4 to 10.1 million. Yeah,
so they're not poor in the streets as far as subscription pay goes.
No, but Noodles is pointing out that he thinks that people's particular beef seems to be the new Pandarian race.
I did hear that people were complaining about the most recent expansion, but I must admit I know so little about the lore, etc. I had no idea what they were on about.
I think for some people this is going a little like jumping the shark, but like they've been demanded. People have been demanding them since the start. I mean, they were in the third one in Warcraft.
Yes, yeah.
But there was only 2 of them. I can't remember exactly.
I don't even know. I can't even picture them in my head what they look like.
Like a panda.
Oh, right. Oh, Pandarians, right. I get it now. That's a very boring name for a race of pandas.
He seems to think that...
There are a race of lizards called lizardarians.
He says that, could this mass loss of subscribers be due to potential WoW killers coming out, such as Guild Wars 2, which instead of having a subscriber system, has the much more appealing price of a regular game and an in-game store.
Yeah, Guild Wars is the one that you pay for expansions and the initial purchase, but no subscription. Yeah. I did try Guild Wars. In fact, didn't you try it as well?
I did, yes.
It was kind of averagey.
I didn't really like it.
The second one might be good, though.
He says, could this be the way for most MMOs to go in future, or do you see the free-to-play system with an in-game store becoming more popular? Well done on completing Dead Island, so I think a Who Do You Voodoo Bitch celebration rap is in order.
Well, you'll need a bit more whiskey before they'll
do that.
I'd do that on one of your Skyrim videos.
Go about punching a dragon.
You punch the dragon. Exactly. I wish that more MMOs went the free subscription model because I don't have enough time to warrant paying a subscription. And if I liked one, I would support it by buying stuff in it.
I'm split down the middle on that.
Was it last time we spoke about my editor asked the folk at Rift if they were going free to play, and they said, no, we've got too much content, we're not going free to play.
The thing is I think if you asked me a few years ago, I'd probably say exactly what you did there, that I did like playing them, but it starts getting to the point where you don't have enough time to warrant the subscription model. And
I wish I had more time to get.
But then the ones that are free tend to make money. They try to encourage you to use the store, so they put in things that make the game a little bit broken in the in-game store, and it kind of screws with, in terms of say making money and stuff. It's all screwed with you just actually paying for things.
But they have to somehow.
And it also means that, like, without that subscription model, if they're not bringing in enough cash on a regular basis, or have a proper cash flow, they're maybe not going to put in as much content.
Oh, do you know what might be a good middle ground? A subscription-free fee that isn't bloody £10 or over. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, let's say they put it at like £2, and they had an in-game store.
Yeah, find the middle ground. As is the best way to solve most problems.
I think that's probably what's going to happen. It's going to be adapt or die, and it's going to be what happens. Eventually, people will stop playing WoW. It will happen.
Yes, eventually. When the world ends.
This could be the start of it. This could be the start of the trend of people. And it's not that they're going elsewhere. It's just that perhaps the people that were playing it have grown up, got jobs, got girlfriends, wives, kids.
No, not WoW players.
Hey, I used to play WoW.
Masturbated themselves to death in a basement somewhere.
Oh.
Over a Skyrim trailer. On the subject of MMOs, I have been invited into an upcoming beta weekend for Knights of the Old Republic. Or no, it's just called the Old Republic, isn't it? Because Knights, which is
supposed to be coming out on Christmas Day, isn't it?
No, it's the 23rd.
Oh, the 23rd.
Yeah, so 2 days before Christmas. And I did say I was interested in it, but I wouldn't buy it because I wanted to try it first. So I'm finally getting the chance, hopefully. But it has an NDA, so after I have tried it, I won't be allowed to talk about it.
Yeah, at large, but...
Well, I respect NDAs.
So you're not going to tell me?
Are we still recording?
Off the record.
I'll take that as a yes and then say no. Wink.
Wink, nudge, nudge, poke.
I don't actually know when it's happening because I only got the invite on Friday night and it's obviously not this weekend because it said you'll be told further details later on. So,
stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Well, no, don't stay tuned because I just told you I can't tell you anything about it. So don't stay tuned. I mean, I'll see in the NDA. I'll need to read it properly to see when the lift date of it is. The embargo date.
Largo the embargo.
Largo the embargo. So I think that's all in the email. If anyone else would like to email us a question, rather than leave poor Noodles Muffin Mick to do it all, it's braingohurty@gmail.com.
It is, yes. And I do answer every email that comes in.
No, you don't.
I do. Ask Noodles.
Did you send an email back to that person I told you to with the Tenkaichi request?
I did. Yes, I did.
Oh, okay then. That's good.
So there.
Secretary Monkey. The very last thing on my notes for this time is just that Resident Evil Revelations, not to be confused with Revelations that we were speaking about earlier. Revelations. Too many games are called Revelations.
They're just using the same bloody names over it. That's the thing. You get to the point where everything's
been like done. Saying too many sequels are using the same number. Oh, another one using...
Oh, Bethesda's going to go and put a stamp on that. Oh, no, you can't use 7 in the game. No,
you can't use 3. We've got that at the end of our Elder Scrolls title.
Yep.
Ugh. Well, anyway, Resident Evil Revelations is also out next year, March-ish, I think. Can't remember the exact date, but Capcom have said, this game is so big and so great, we're going to charge more for it.
Really?
Yeah, they're charging $10 more on the standard 3DS price.
Yeah.
So that probably means it'll be £3 more here, even though £1 is not half equal to $1.
This is just Capcom further proving.
So bad.
Capcom.
I think we've started a new thing now. Anytime one of us grumbles, it's Onion Knight complaining about the situation.
Capcom were the people that developed the difficulty level, the unfairness level for Dark Souls.
Yes, they are. Yeah, it wasn't really From Software. Capcom was just pulling the strings.
They're the ones that stole all the credit card details from Valve as well.
Valve.
Yeah.
Someone who used to write for a Critical Gamer who now can't because they're working in a certain position in Capcom, I won't be specific, because their contract actually says they're not allowed to write reviews.
Really?
Yeah.
Weird.
How weird is that? I know. But there you go.
Are they like some sort of PR for them now or something? You can't say. You're not going to say either.
No, I'll say no. They're definitely not that. So that's what's strange.
Huh.
There you go. I'm curious if other companies do that kind of thing as well.
Well, I know that, like where I work, that there's anything that I develop while I am there stays there. I can't take anything with me. And knowledge of the systems and so on and so forth, I'm not allowed to disclose either.
Yes, because otherwise they'll kill you.
Yep, they will.
Yes, they will. Yes, they will. So I think that was everything off my list. Did you have any last-minute additions?
The only final thing that I had is that there was not like a proper trailer, but a concept trailer for...
concept trailer. Well, a concept trailer isn't a trailer. Who cares? It's like a CG thing.
A concept footage that they've done for Rainbow Six, the new one.
Oh, yeah, you told me about it, but I did not watch it.
It's quite interesting. It looked like it had sort of weird, like heavy rain elements to it, I suppose. But basically, it goes down the line of this guy that gets kidnapped and told that his wife and kid are going to get killed unless he does what they say, and they strap him up with a bomb and stuff. And then later on in the missions, like you playing as the guy, you're playing it from his perspective, and then later on, like you play more as the SWAT guys and so on, and then you come back to playing as him on this bridge, and it's like you get one of these like kill switch trigger things or whatever, and it's like you have to hold down left mouse button or left bumper.
Yeah,
or whatever.
I remember you talking about this quite a few podcasts ago, but that was when they were describing this scenario
they were just talking it through as if this is like an idea that we have, and I got to see this like in concept footage in action and stuff, and it sort of plays like you're playing as like 3 or 4 different people all within the same sort of period of time. It's quite weird. Like you jump to like one little bit and you're playing as the guy on the bridge, like desperately holding onto the button while bullets and shit fly around. And then you start playing as the snipers on the rooftop who have to start shooting at police because they're trying to shoot at the terrorists. And you're thinking, the thinking behind it is that the cops are going to accidentally, or maybe purposely, shoot the suicide bomber, causing the bridge to blow up and kill everybody. So that you then have to start sniping at police to shoot them in the leg, shoot them in the arm, that sort of thing. Or well, if you choose to shoot them in the leg and the arm.
Yeah, I do have a bit of an issue with the whole sort of those kinds of moral dilemmas, because really, if you're in a situation where it's one life or 1,000, you have to pick the one life because it's the lesser of two evils, unless you just want to see what happens.
Well,
there's not really any debate.
But it keeps pushing that. What I found interesting was that rather than like one instance of it occurring, it keeps going. It continues on and on and on. Like it keeps forcing you to. I don't want to say forcing. It keeps giving you the choice where the situation keeps spiraling out of control. Eventually, at the end of the scene, one of the SWAT guys, two of the SWAT guys, lift the guy up while he's still holding the trigger and throw him off the bridge. Mm-hmm. So that when he blows up, it's...
Yes, he would just be him.
And it was like, I know it was still just sort of concept footage and stuff, but it looked like, I'm not saying fun, but it looked like interesting.
Ooh, we get to throw a suicide bomber who's really innocent off a bridge. Yay.
No, it's just interesting that they're now taking these sort of tacks when it comes to making game stories and stuff, rather than just going like, Brofest, let's run in there and kill all the bad guys. And
at the same time, not going Brofest is fine, but also just putting in arbitrary moral choices isn't so great now either, because it's been oversaturated.
Yeah, but only if it's been done where it feels like it's been tacked on. This looks like they've just like actually integrated it not only into the story but into the level design as well, how things play out. I like it. I like the look of it.
I will keep an eye on it. It's just I try and avoid all these concept things because
it's a
conceptually you could say anything. I mean,
dildo bat.
Perfect example is go find what?
It's a dildo bat.
Oh, okay. Go find Peter Montyflakes talking about one of the first couple of Fable games. Look at those concept videos and see.
Yeah. He talks a good game, but now people have caught on.
Yes, it didn't take long.
I love that you call him Montyflakes.
I never call him by his proper name, and I don't write his proper name ever. If you've seen me mention him in anything I've written for Critical Gamer, I always just make it up as I go along. Monty Flakes, Monte Cristo, Monty Burns.
Is there a reason to that?
I refuse to acknowledge him by spelling his stupid French name correctly.
But he made, like, Populous.
Never played it.
Oh, Philistine.
It's going to be another one of those, that moment in the Dead Island playthrough when I hadn't watched that film.
I can't remember.
Zed Katana.
Oh, Pulp Fiction.
That's the one. So you haven't played fucking Populous.
You dirty communist.
That must make me a communist. Shall we start wrapping up as you get slowly drunk and I get more and more edgy? Edging towards my tedious Steam account and the Skyrim button.
Yeah, the trigger finger is going.
Yes, and perhaps you can hear it right now. Oh shit, I pressed exit by accident. No!
Yes, so, yeah, YouTube videos, click FFXI.
God, you can't even be bothered doing proper plugging. It's just Skyrim.
Yes. So I've only played it for half an hour, and that's how much I like it. So
I've played it for 16 hours so far.
Fucking hell.
And I would say I've barely done anything. I've done like 3 main quests.
I thought you were about to say, like, I've barely slept, barely eaten.
Well,
I'm soaked in my own urine.
Apart from the urine thing, pretty much, because obviously because it was a midnight launch, I stayed up very late, and I was up early for work, and then back in. Ugh. Off tomorrow, though, so it's just going to be Skyrim all day.
You should have Skyped it off. Yeah, I've got to spend tomorrow fucking editing this.
I've got a Skyrim. It's a yeast infection. Actually, it could be something much worse, but let's not go there. I should have thought about that before I said anything.
Yeah, so you can catch up on everything on the blog, where we'll probably put a few links of bits and pieces we've talked about in here, so that'll be braingohurty.blogspot.com.
I promise in the next podcast we'll have a lot more to talk about than just Skyrim and how we wish we'd be doing that instead of this. But honestly, it assures we both enjoy it, and it's going to have positive reviews from us when we are finished.
Now let's go punch some dragons.
Still
closed.
Still not dead.